Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger steaks. This is beef country, Texas, home to the Alamo, the Cowboys, and the largest military installation known to man. So big, it has a big name. Fort Hood, the great place. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
Music was playing. Hey, everybody. Guess who's here?
I'm back from the sickness.
The sickness.
Yes.
She's back from the sickness that was definitely
I was
not
down with the
coronavirus.
sickness.
You were.
But now I'm up.
You were very sick.
I was.
And we are glad to have you back and not sick.
Thank you. It was terrible. I could barely stand and walk for a couple days.
That is terrible.
Yeah. It was the side effects of the medication that I was taking.
Ouch.
It was literally, the side effects were worse than the actual infection.
That's what I like to tell people.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's just the medication.
Sure.
It really was, though. It really was. Because as soon as, the day after I had finished the treatment and I had no more, I immediately just, even mentally, I started feeling better.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. And we're glad to have you back with us.
I was very sad, but that cold opening with you by yourself was hilarious.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought it was kind of sad in itself.
No, it made me laugh so hard.
Did it?
Because you were just like, well, it is just me.
Well,
so awkward.
I am glad to have amused at least one. That was
it
tough.
was very amusing.
Because I was expecting you would be here. I knew
Yeah.
Dave had his wife's thing. So I'm like, well, at least we got Brianna.
Yeah.
And then I get your text and, I'm like, well, I'm going to have to find someone else. And then our interview walks in the room like, hey, we're here a little early. I'm like, oh, great. Great.
Well, it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, it hit really fast. I started feeling it Sunday afternoon. And I thought it would go away. I'm like, it'll turn back around. And no.
And then, what really the whole tragedy of this, or maybe it's the silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
So on the show twice, I tried to call Brianna and was met with the phone, doo doo doo. We're sorry. But, and I just assumed it's because she was sick.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So she's ill and under the weather. What I found out is I actually didn't have her number. It was a random.
Nice.
Yeah, who were you calling?
I don't know.
What was listed?
It was some random number which would have even been better if I just randomly called somebody.
Oh, if you'd got through, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just would have put them on the air. Hey, want to be on a podcast?
Hey.
Well, you are now.
Yeah, I was so confused because we tried calling you. I'm like, no, I have no missed messages or my phone didn't go off at all. But, I think you had my old number before I'd left for Japan.
Okay.
Because I had
Japan.
Because I had my family line that I was on, and then they just suspended it.
Oh, okay.
And so when I came back, I was re-added to the family plan, and they had the same number, but the phone number was not working, so I had to get a new one. And my entire phone actually didn't work either.
All right. Well, I didn't follow that at all, but I believe you.
I think you had my old number.
Okay, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
We'll just go from there. Well, last week I had a news story that I wasn't able to get to. I bailed on because I did the one, and it just really wasn't working without an audience. So I now present to you last week's news today.
Oh, yay.
All right? Headlines from the Daily Star. Coronavirus could be spreading across the globe through farts, claim doctors. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Emerging Infectious Diseases Journal, Detection of novel coronavirus by RT-PCR in stool specimen from asymptomatic child in China. All right. Washington Post headline. In Hong Kong apartment tower, SARS virus spreads through plumbing. So I present to you, dear listeners, and Dave and Brianna.
Okay.
We know about coughs and sneezes, but can coronavirus spread through farts? This was a deep dive story. I'm already regretting my choice of words. A deep dive story by USA Today, the bastions of hard-hitting journalism.
Mm.
The claim, doctors say the coronavirus could be spreading across the globe through past gas. As health officials warn of the coronavirus spreading through droplets generated by sneezes and coughs, some people have wondered whether past gas could also be a culprit of transmission. Recent articles, some shared widely on social media, have explored the possibility. An April 11th article from the British tabloid Daily Star titled "Coronavirus Could Be Spreading Across the Globe Through Farts" had 4,700 shares on Facebook.
Wow.
Doctors made the foul discovery that farting could spread the COVID-19 disease unless infected people wear pants, which can protect this from happening.
Only pants will save us.
Wow.
No butt naked.
No butt naked. As long as you're wearing those pants, you should be good to go. Underwear helps too, I would imagine. Two layers of protection. So those that are going commando are a greater risk to society than those that are not. What about, and they probably didn't even check this, because now my brain's working, right? The brain's engaged. What kind of pants? Parachute pants. Dockers. What about the jeans with rips in them?
Oh.
Yeah. Remember when we breached the subject of toilet plume?
Yes. I remember when you breached it.
Yes. The toilets in the bathrooms here at 3 Corps headquarters, they don't have lids. It's toilet plume all day in there.
Public toilets.
Am I walking into like a gas chamber of coronavirus when I walk in there?
Just a fester.
Am I spelling out my doom just by doing my duty?
Just don't touch the ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. That's
13 feet in the air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I try to hold my breath is what I try to do.
Oh, you're taking a
the
dump?
particles?
No, I just don't. I don't partake in thronage here at work now. I won't do it. I'll hold it.
Ooh.
I will hold it.
I heard that's bad for you.
It's a 30-minute drive home, man.
I'm not like, hey, I'll be right back and drive half an hour home.
Gotta go on my lunch break.
To have the children and then drive back. I just don't. I just have to be careful of what I'm eating. Make sure that I'm not going to eat anything that might want to visit me the next day during work hours, and I'm good to go. So, lesson in the story, wear pants. Everybody out there, wear pants.
Yeah. Don't go commando this season.
No.
Or depends.
But maybe next season.
Oh, that's true.
That's even better.
Mm-hmm. But what if, kids can get it and the little kids running around without pants? They do that in America? Is that an American thing?
Yeah, not so much.
Am I thinking third world countries?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I spent too long in Japan. Not that Japan's a third world country. Not that people don't wear pants in Japan. They do. I saw a lot of people in pants.
It's a lot of backpedaling there.
Yes. So do bidets. What if you're using a bidet?
Are you sitting on it when
Maybe
you...
a little bit.
I've never used one, so...
Well, it's squirty.
Okay.
I've never used one either.
You've been in Japan.
I
How
know,
can you not
I
use
didn't use it.
the entire time you were in Japan? I had one in my house.
I did not. Well, I lived in the barracks, so I had American.
Oh, that's true.
Everything.
Did you ever come over to my house?
I don't think so,
Oh my
actually.
gosh, what is wrong with me?
I didn't even realize you never. I just felt like we hung out so much, though.
I robbed you of that experience.
No, you're good. I don't think I'm ready to use one.
It's so fantastic. The fancy ones have lights and a massage function.
I think I'm good. I don't want anything near there. I'm just like, no.
Freaking her out, Charles.
A massage?
Massage. All right. And moving on from that, we're glad you joined us today on Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Your bathroom experience sounds much more riveting than
right.
mine.
If you have an interesting bathroom experience, why not drop us a line at forthoodpao@gmail.com. Meanwhile, Brianna will continue to drop things on the floor.
As soon as you said drop, I knocked over my bottle.
All right. Well, let's take a break, reconvene, and Brianna, you can take care of your stuff, and Dave, we'll do the first thing.
Yep.
All right.
Review. All right, everybody, break on 3, and then we'll come back. Ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Break.
Break.
Here he is, Jeff Snarkworthy.
Thank you, yeah. If you've got a sudden, unexpected fever, you might have coronavirus. If you've traveled from or through a state where coronavirus is prevalent, you might have coronavirus. If that fever of yours, if it's accompanied by a feeling of shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus is steadily spreading across not only the United States, but the world. Being aware of the signs and symptoms of coronavirus helps keep us all safe. If you suspect that you may have been infected with the virus, call 254-553-6612. That's the Fort Hood Health Hotline, 254-553-6612.
If you've been around some place where people were infected, if you got that fever, shortness of breath, and a cough, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus. It's no laughing matter.
Hello?
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. Close enough for the government, good enough for you.
Well, I cried so much for you, baby, that's nothing new. Yes, I cried.
The weather recently. I always bring up the weather.
Yeah, you do.
Well, if you look at old letters, you ever been to antiquing? Or
Not so much.
you don't ever look at old letters? As a kid, my family was a homesteading family from Kansas in the land rush. So our people went out there. They built a mud home, claimed the land, then built a farmhouse by hand,
Okay.
the Folks farmhouse in Turon, Kansas. And by the time I came along in this history, the farmhouse wasn't so much an active farmhouse. We had cattle, we had some fields, but once upon a time, they had chickens, they had an orchard, they had grapes for a winery. I mean, this was the real deal farm stuff.
Okay.
Up in the attic, we had all the documentation going back to forever.
Right.
For the family. And people always talked about, when I'd read old letters from the 1800s and stuff, they always mentioned the weather.
Well, okay.
So I think people still, that's a commonality that connects all of us. What's the weather like in your part of the world? And I can tell you the weather in Texas right now is hot.
Not.
It's getting up into
This
the
is
90s.
this is not hot.
Well,
yet.
it's getting there.
Come on.
It's getting there.
60s in the morning is not hot.
Well, you got to remember, my wife is Japanese, right? So she grew up in Japan, where hot is kind of 80, 85. You're like, oh, it's sizzling.
Yeah, no.
So you get a 90-degree day here, and she'll come in and say, oh, it's so hot outside. And I now traditionally say, oh, you think it's hot now? Just you wait.
Give it a week or two.
Just you wait. And even when we hit the the highs in the summer. It's 105. It's 107. There's that heat index. It's throwing us up into the lower 200s. I say, she'll be like, oh, it's just sweltering. Oh, I'm dying. And I say, well, just you wait. This is nothing. Hold on. This is Texas.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But it's been in the 90s. That is kind of hottish.
Yeah.
Ish.
You got air conditioning, and
You
they're
got air
making you sit in the
conditioning.
house, right?
Air conditioning's for pansies. No, my wife, being Japanese, opens up the house.
Not on a 90-degree day.
Oh, she opens up the house. You don't know how many times I heard, while I was in Japan, sunlight kills things. So you open up the house and let the sunlight come in, and your house is now clean.
Okay.
So using that mentality,
Yeah.
our house is being cleaned by the heat.
Okay.
If that works, so says I, you wouldn't need to bathe. You could just walk around in the sun on a hot day and you'd be good to go.
Well, that's called sunbathing, right?
But we do shower. Yeah, we take proper. I don't sunbathe. I sunburn.
Yeah.
I go from white to red and back to white again. There's no in between. There's no in between. But, it's always good to be safe and be ready for things. And Fort Hood is continuing to be safe and ready.
Safe and ready.
Yes. Well, you can't be ready without being safe. It's
Exactly.
kind of an Army thing. And we have a guest here today
We do?
that kind of falls within that purview.
Oh, yeah. That's a big purview.
Mm-hmm.
We have Chris Hoffman, and he is the Chief of Training for the Directorate of Plans, Training, Mobilization, and Security. But for the purposes of today's discussion, I guess more importantly, you're the Installation Range Officer, right?
That is correct.
So, COVID-19, shelter in place, a lot less moving parts out on the ranges. We still are training, some, right?
Yes, we are.
Right, but there's a silver lining to all this, isn't there? Tell me what's been going on out on the Fort Hood ranges.
Yeah, sure. So we're taking advantage of this time as we're social distancing, and there's a reduced level of training. So this has allowed us to get into the live fire area.
Mm-hmm.
And the live fire area is the place where the rounds impact and all that, and typically there's no access. But there's a definite need for work that needs to be done out there, fixing course roads, working on target lifters, and those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've been able to do is maximize our opportunity to get out there during this COVID-19 response that we're having across the nation. We're really starting to get after a lot of the sustainment and maintenance that we need to do.
Okay.
And what we're doing is we're getting ahead of the game. So when we get back on and everything's safe out there and our soldiers are continuing to train to meet the needs of the nation, we're prepared to do it. So we've been able to take an opportunity here since we've had this COVID-19 response to make ourselves better. So we're not sitting around. We're making Fort Hood more capable, and we're going to be ready for any future endeavors that our units need here at Fort Hood to train.
Would you say that what you've been able to do now that you have time without explosions, would you say that you're creating a better training experience for Fort Hood soldiers?
We're creating a better and safer training experience for Fort Hood soldiers, because when you can get to the roads, you can get to the areas that, Mother Nature and the weather, the erosion and those types of things. We're able to get out there with our partners from the Directorate of Public Works, helping us out. Great teamwork that we're having there. So we're definitely going to make it better and safer for everybody.
Let me ask a question here. You mentioned that normally you're unable to access this stuff because of the training. Why can't Fort Hood just say, hey, stop training. We need to access and do this stuff? Why?
Because there's a lot of training.
Yeah.
Well, there is a lot of training. And, since Fort Hood opened, this is probably the longest period of time we've probably had to get out into the live fire area.
Oh, wow.
So when you look at it, we train 50 weeks a year here. We only have 2 periods, fall cleanup and spring cleanup, that we can get into the live fire area. And that's where we will put hard targets in for our artillery to shoot at and those types of things. So it's constant, and the units are just the training load will be significant when we start training after the COVID-19 response again.
Wow. Hey, you hear that, people that live on the perimeter of Fort Hood? The training is going to be intense. Don't send me a message on Facebook saying that things are going boom. We know it is. And I hope you've enjoyed your time when they haven't been going boom. This is your Zen time. Enjoy it. But we're getting back at it. So how much improvement has been done, like road work and targets? Do you have any numbers?
Yeah, I don't have any hard numbers right here with me, but we're getting to all the ranges where you typically don't have access. So we have 2 mandatory downtimes of 2 hours each during the day. But our range crews are mostly focused on just servicing the targets and those types of things, just changing out scenarios. So now we have basically unhindered movement out in the live fire area, so we can get out and do that. We also had some scheduled contracts and improvements that we were doing to some of the ranges, and they're able to do that quicker now because we don't have any restrictions as we're doing this. Now, we still are training, so units that meet the essential needs, those that are deploying, those that are deploying to support the COVID-19 response across the nation, and law enforcement type units. Mm-hmm. They are still training out here. So there are people on ranges right now as we speak.
Small arms, right?
Small arms, yes. Mm-hmm. Small arms predominantly.
Wow.
Earlier you had told me you also do have some EOD folks that have gone through, so it's not just going pow, pow, pow.
That's correct. We do have some explosive ordnance disposal units that are continuing to train on some of the demolition ranges as well. And then there's an EOD unit that in the middle of the month of May will be training in some of our military urban training facilities that we have as well.
One of the things that is always emphasized, and I've covered spring cleanups before, is when you clear out excess brush and create fire guards or firewalls. Some of that was going on when I got out on Friday into one of the range areas on the West Range. But there's more to it than that right now, right? With that effort?
Yes. It's called our Integrated Training Area Management Program. And what we do with that is, because we have 2 invasive species, mesquite and juniper, what we do is we go out and taking all environmental considerations into account and meeting those standards, we clear out some of the underbrush so we can continue to have enhanced maneuver capability here at Fort Hood. So we're still doing that. Right now as we speak, they're out in the training areas working, clearing that out, preparing the training area so when our soldiers get back out there, it's ready to support their training and meet commanders' training objectives.
What about when the green light goes on and they say, okay, it's time to train, guys? How busy are you guys going to be?
We will be incredibly busy, and it'll be based on priorities that start all the way up from the Department of the Army as they reset how they're going to have units scheduled to meet combatant commanders' requirements. And we will take those priorities, and then we will work that through 3 Corps and with the units. And down at range operations, we're a critical component of that because we control and we schedule all the training areas and all the ranges. So we will be incredibly busy doing that. And it's already started. The planning phases are already starting now. Even though we're not training, we're leaning forward to start preparing for the training.
So that dance card is filling up rapidly.
Right? It is.
You're getting ready to get ready.
We are getting ready to get ready. That's a great way to put it.
Everybody is, I think, around here. We're all getting the antsy pants of
chomping at the bit a little bit.
We've been sheltering in place. Let's do something different now. We don't have very long attention spans as Americans. We're ready to move on to the next thing.
You know, from the observing the units, all the unit master gunners and the operations officers and all that, they're constantly calling on the phone, wanting to get things scheduled.
Sure.
But it'll be that prioritization, and some hard decisions will have to be made. But we will go with the priority and get the right people trained that need to be trained.
Nobody wants to be unprepared.
That's
especially now that we've got Fort Hood units that are going to be going to Europe this summer.
Iron Horse, yes. They're actually going to do their qualification here, right?
Yeah, they're certifying training event. They'll be doing that training here in our training area here at Fort Hood. That's in lieu of a National Training Center rotation. They'll get prepared and ready to go. They're developing that plan now.
Is that a first?
I don't know if it's a first.
But it's rare.
But it is rare.
Okay.
And it is non-standard, and it is a direct result of the COVID-19 response.
Well, at the very least, it's a first team. Huh?
Yeah, right.
I get something for that.
Yeah.
I get something for that.
I don't know about that. Mr. Hoffman, hey, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Appreciate your time. You still got a little bit of a lull, right?
A little bit, but the planning stages have started already.
Right. So be prepared, right?
We will.
Right. You're going to be a busy, busy man. And we will have more explosive excitement. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there.
Yeah. Right after this.
What is life? What's an honorable discharge sounds disgusting. Where'd my filing? Which end of the horse do I stick the carrot in?
Sporky asks a question.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sporky here, and I've got a big question. What is OPSEC?
Fork utensil. How is it that you don't know about operational security?
Annie Pumpkin. No need to be so formal. You can call me Sporky. All my friends do. And I know all about operational poo-poo-poo-poo. But what is OPSEC?
Operational security's OPSEC, fork utensil.
Ooh, maybe it's OPSEC. That's spicy. Where do babies come from?
Fork utensil.
It must have something to do with the military and things. I know. I'll take pictures of stuff all over post and put them on the internet and ask, is this OPSEC? Is this OPSEC?
Fork utensil,
Ooh,
you
it
better
sure
not.
smells like OPSEC.
Look, there are 5 steps to OPSEC.
Oh.
Identifying critical information, identifying the threat, assessing vulnerabilities, analyzing the risk, and developing and applying countermeasures. The OPSEC is pretty common sense, like not talking about troop movements or other sensitive things.
You mean it's a process by which organizations assess and protect information about things that could, if properly analyzed and grouped with other data by a clever adversary, reveal a bigger picture than ought to stay hidden.
That's exactly right, fork thingy.
Forky.
And like they used to say, loose lips sink ships.
Ooh, I love a good submarine joke, but seriously, where do babies come from?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Practicing good OPSEC is everybody's job. Protect your fellow service members. Don't be a sporky.
Love you, Bob, I love the way you swing. I said I love you, Mama, I love the way you swing. When you walk that walk, when you talk that talk, that's the way. Yeah.
So, in between then and now,
Yes.
I received a message from the wife
Oh.
on the old cell phone, and she says, it's so hot outside.
Are we back talking about the weather?
Well, that's what I said. You know, the wife always saying if it gets above 90, what is it now?
85.
85. She's already saying it's so hot.
That's not that bad.
We'll tell that to my wife.
It is just the start of May, though.
It is.
It is.
It's
It
gonna
is.
be
We're in for
May.
All right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness. I was hoping the
Gotta get my
podcast can
NSYNC in
avoid
there.
that. That's right. What was that again? Dave gave you the look. So do it again and then
Oh.
explain. No,
Sorry.
Do it again.
Oh, it's gonna be May.
Okay.
She's doing the neck thing.
Yeah,
again
she
with that.
was.
And now explain that. Explain what that means to Dave, because Dave has the
Oh.
eyebrow thing going.
So it's a common. So when it's like April 30th,
Yes.
there's a common meme that goes around, and it's of Justin Timberlake in his NSYNC days, and the song is it's supposed to be M-E, but when the way he says it, it makes it sound like M-A-Y.
Okay.
So
now you know.
Yeah, I know.
that's the thing now.
Now
He's the guy
you
that
know.
sings Bye, 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 right?
Yes.
Yeah, for the drink thing. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's in that song. I think that lyric is in that
That's
song.
the song, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
In Bye Bye Bye.
I've heard that song.
He's the one with the thing in the box.
It's in a commercial. I've seen it.
Yes, in the future.
What?
Fast forward.
What are we talking about?
Well, because NSYNC was like in the 90s, and the box was like early 2000s.
Okay.
history, like a long history.
Well,
career.
when we've lost me,
Okay, Back
we
to the
know
Future. Here we go.
We're off the beaten path.
I was very, very sick at home for the last week.
All right, and then
But
beyond,
I'm doing better now.
beyond that, we're glad.
Yes,
and it
we
was
are.
not coronavirus.
It was not
which
corona.
I told everyone
Not
multiple
Yeah.
times.
Corona.
Yes, it was not corona.
And then
I didn't have all the symptoms of it.
we all
Just 4 out of 5.
it just seems
Actually,
like
I had a lot, but it wasn't the same.
at any
thing.
given time, it seems like anyone could have at least 1 or 2 symptoms of coronavirus.
That's the thing is I feel like it's not acceptable to have allergies anymore. Like I'm waiting for the time when having allergies is not so threatening.
Give me the Jeff Foxworthy. You might have coronavirus.
Well, you might have coronavirus if you've got a fever and you're coughing. Nope. Yeah.
No, I think the other one was the right one. The trombone. Yeah. I think the trombone was more appropriate.
All right. I was at the store the other day with the symbol that's shaped like a target.
Yes.
I know you don't like us to say the names of stores, so I'm
Brand
just
names.
describing it.
He was digging
It's
into all
shaped
about
like
that.
a target. And I felt like I was browsing and I needed to cough just because there was a little
Yeah.
dry, a tickle in my throat.
Yeah.
And there were people around me and I actually stopped and I felt like, I probably shouldn't cough. I probably should just go freak everybody out if I do that.
You felt the judgment.
I know I did. And
Waiting for you.
that was like the first time out and about that coronavirus controlled my actions in that way. Now I do.
Yeah, around here you didn't care before you hit the start
I
button.
was
You
coughing
just,
on it.
coughed
Cough,
right
cough,
on me.
You did
Well, I
cough.
had the tickle. I had that tickle.
He
But-
secretly wants to only be the host now. He's
Yeah.
gonna weed
Yeah.
us now that he got a
No,
taste of the
we
solo.
We saw what happened with that last week.
I was
That's-
thoroughly impressed.
Were you?
I was. I loved it.
What was your favorite part?
Just the fact that when you were just like, so, and there's just like so much dead air. Like I was laughing. Well, yeah. It was
Welcome
great.
to Fort Hood's Great Big Awkward Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Charlie Babe.
Yeah.
But
It was great.
when I'm at stores, I tend to avoid people now.
Yes.
I like give them a wide
do
berth
too.
as I'm moving around.
Yes. It's like that on the trails too, on the hiking trails now.
You hike around people. You're like in the trees.
Well,
going
sometimes
around
like
someone.
I'll see someone approaching me on a path, and then they'll immediately take another one. Like they'll just tee off.
I've decided I'm looking at this
Yeah.
now.
And I've actually done that too in return. Like when I see someone approaching, I was gonna go the way that they were walking, but then I choose to go on another route.
It's funny when you're out in the woods like that, having our behavior morph into that is pretty much just behaving like a serial killer. I'm trying to hide a body.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, someone's coming. Better walk this way. Nobody saw me out here.
This just in. All walkers are serial
I
killers.
know. It makes it much more difficult. Well, speaking of serial killers, no,
Seriously.
no.
What
No.
Best intro ever.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Roads.
Traffic.
Hitchhiking.
That's where you hide the bodies, I guess.
That's
is
right.
On the road.
Under the roads. Jimmy Hoffa underneath
We are lucky
Hood
to
roads.
have Michelle Lennis, and she is the chief of Construction Management Branch of the Directorate of Public Works.
not of serial
Ooh.
killing.
No,
There is
not
no
a ser-
directorate of serial killing in
No.
Fort Hood.
although they do bury stuff.
Oh,
They
do
what a
cement.
connection. Dave making the connection.
All the evidence eradicated.
Michelle, thanks for being here.
Thank y'all for having me.
So we are actually making progress, right?
We are. We have, thank everyone for their patience out there. We completed the Tank Destroyer project. That was 2.5 miles of road work that we did.
Well, how many tanks did you destroy?
0 tanks in the process. It is successful.
Oh,
0 tanks harmed.
0 tanks harmed. And we also replaced the culvert on East Range Road up near Brookhaven. I know that was tedious for any of our Gatesville people. And we also replaced the culvert over there by the East Range Road ACP, which we shut down for a month near Tedesco.
Wow. There are a lot of people are going to be really happy about that. Anytime you shut down any of the roads out there, we get so many messages on Facebook. When is
Yes.
this going to be open again? When's it going to be open again? That area is so popular.
You didn't tell me.
You didn't tell me is a common phrase. We,
Well,
we do
you
try to
know
get out
now.
there.
Yeah.
It's hard to make all those phone calls every day.
So talking about culverts, you got it's more than a culvert. That thing you took me out to at Clear Creek Road.
Clear Creek Road.
Tell me about that and try and explain that to the folks at home listening.
All right. So most people won't be able to see it, but it was quite an impressive look.
Well,
So-
they will if they pick up
The Sentinel.
Yeah, the Fort Hood Sentinel.
Fort Hood.
Fort Hood's greatest and only newspaper.
There you
We
go.
got a great shot of you pointing at it.
Oh,
I've seen it.
Let's
It's
not use that
fantastic.
picture. Let's.
I
use
felt
the
like
other
I
one.
was there.
So over on Clear Creek, we're actually doing a large project over there. We're repairing the roadway from West Range Road all the way to Ironside. That's about 1.5 miles total. Right now, we're on the first segment, which is from Turkey Run to West Range Road. In that, there is a culvert system that is fed from Lake Henry.
Right.
Lake Henry constantly tops over and it topples the road, and it's not uncommon during a rain event to have 2-3 foot of water rushing across that road. So
Sure.
it's a major safety problem. So we're actually increasing the culverts underneath the road. We had 3 36s on the primary and 1 42 on these uphill overflow channel.
36 meaning 3 foot wide.
3 foot wide. We are 3 of them.
Yeah.
We took them out. We've made a big old pit. It's about 25 feet deep because that's where our flow line is. And we are going to put in 2 5x5 box culverts. So, you can fit a body in there. And then sticking with the theme here. And up on the uphill side of it. So just in case the water rises enough and it goes over the dam on the spillway, we've got 5 5x9.
I can see how that worked. Frank, go lay down there. See if that's big enough. Yeah, that looks like
We're just
that'll
going to
work.
measure it by your body.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, I got a question. So you're having to widen all these culverts and stuff and dig body pits and all this stuff. The Lake Henry
Yes.
constantly overflows.
It can, yes.
I've been out there. I've seen them drain lakes. Just the whole
Dredge
thing
'em.
is
Yeah,
drained.
I've seen that too.
Why not just drain Lake Henry, make it deeper, and then let the water go back in?
So even if you make it deeper, it's just going to still fill to its overflow point, to its flow point. And at the flow point, the lake does hold 1,208 acre feet of water.
Wow.
And whenever it goes over the spillway, it's holding about 19 acre feet of water, and at the spillway it holds 58 acre feet of water. So there is a large capacity during storm events, but y'all have to remember that the drainage side that feeds to Lake Henry is 1,200 acres of hard stand, because it's mostly the motor pools. That whole where the first cave is, their motor pools all flow into that direction, and they feed Lake Henry. So all that water is collecting at Lake Henry, and then that's what topples the road.
Wow, I have no idea what you just said, but I am absolutely fascinated in the fact that we measure water in acres.
Acre feet.
What's up with that?
Hey, I had to look that one up too.
Oh my gosh.
So an acre foot is approximately 325,000 gallons of water.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So we can take a shower for a long
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water. A lot of waterfalls whenever it rains here.
Wow.
Yeah, it does. And it's hard to imagine that much water overflowing and then being forced alongside the roads and then sometimes
Yes.
going over the roads. That's why it's so important that when it rains here,
Turn around, don't drown.
turn around, don't
Yes.
drown. You don't go out there. That's a lot of water.
It's a
That's
lot
a lot
of
of
water.
power.
And it,
Yeah.
Texas, just like everywhere else, it's always dark when it's raining, and it
Yes.
masks within the road. You really can't see where it's starting to topple the road.
Absolutely.
I know, and I've read it only takes like a couple inches to get your car off of the road,
Yeah.
like to get you to start sliding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think it's less than 2 inches for you to actually start hydroplaning,
That's crazy.
and that's not uncommon here.
So with these massive new culverts and areas, is that going to help the situation?
Yep. Those have been sized for the overflow events as well as other events. And we believe that's going to let water go underneath the roadway, and we're not going to have any more issues on that roadway with toppling it.
So is this a permanent solution or a temporary solution?
Permanent solution.
Well, that's fantastic.
So
that is great.
Yeah, the directorate's been doing a great job over the last couple of years. We all know we did the bridge over at West Range Road, then we did the
Right.
bridge over on Georgetown. we're also trying to fund a bridge for Turkey Run because that's another high-risk area.
Sure.
In those cases, bridges were the permanent solution. In this case, we actually were able to put a permanent solution in of culverts.
That's cool.
Very
Cool. Yeah, we do get anytime roads start being closed because of rain, we always get messages, hey, Turkey Run, is Turkey Run open? Is Turkey Run open? That's
Turkey Run is a very dangerous road, which is why it's been one of the top priorities of the DPW to go replace Turkey Run, where Clear Creek, the actual creek, crosses Turkey Run, to replace that with a bridge. That's like the number one issue we're dealing with right now, trying to get funding out of headquarters.
Sure. Now, on last week, you also got me out near Cav Country. I mean, on 72nd Street. Tell me what's going on there.
72nd, yes. We're directly right outside of First Cav headquarters. So that road has just been in horrible condition. Everyone's known it's been failing. We actually started this project quite a while ago and completed quite a bit of it down at the south side of 72nd. Now we're currently at the north side of 72nd. So we have two segments going on up there, one between Ironside and Battalion, and the other one between Battalion and 761st. And we're doing full depth repairs. We had initially started this project about a year ago, and when we dug into the ground, we actually found an old abandoned road under the road.
Really?
Roll bodies.
Old road. So an old concrete road. So we closed up the pit very quickly to give the road back to everybody. And in the background, we've been doing a modification for it. So we had to excavate out the road, and we're going to have to completely reconstruct these two segments. So if you look at the pretty pictures that are going to be in the Sentinel, you'll see large amounts of asphalt and concrete and debris. And these were the old roads of Fort Hood that we found under the road, which are causing us problems, which is why the road kept cracking on us over the years. So we've excavated them out. We're about to start lime stabilization, and we're hoping to have the first segment of road, which is the northern side, we're hoping to have that back around mid-June. And then the southern side between Battalion and 761st, we're hoping to have that back by mid-January.
Did you say lime stabilization?
Lime stabilization.
Does that have anything to do with Corona?
No, but it does with coconuts if you're going for a drink.
I was worried about that one because there was this deathly silence there.
No, it's a thought process.
All right, let's move on.
But your absolute biggest, longest roadway that you're working on, the north end is done.
North end is done. Yay.
It's Clark Road, right?
Clark Road, yes. We
Tell me about
completed
it.
Clark Road. So we're now on the south side on the West Range, on West Fort Hood, and we're expected to be done with that phase in July, which is good news for everyone. June. We'll be done in June. My apologies. So we are working from the ACP up until Ammo Road. We've got it excavated. We've got subgrade prepped right now. We're currently putting in doing lines, and we'll be starting to do the reconstruction in the upcoming weeks. We're going to go actually. I'm losing my train of thought.
I know the bodies just get in the head, and then that's all you get.
It does. So yeah, this is the road where we had a 12-foot lane. So we had a 24-foot wide road. We're increasing it to a 32-foot wide road, 44 whenever we put in the turn lanes where they're needed. We've currently on 1.1 miles is what we're working on right now in phase 2A, and we should be done by the 15th of June. Wow. And then we'll move on to phase 2B, which is a small segment, and that will be complete in July. And then 2C, which is from Coppers Cove Road all the way to Mohawk or headquarters, however you want to call that intersection. That will be done in the middle of September is our anticipated dates.
So, fall.
We'll be done in the fall.
Wow.
So right now the gates stay as is with Clark, Copperas, and Mohawk all open.
Okay.
I've got a question. Are you married? Do you have a significant other?
I do.
Do you ever find yourself maybe on 35 or maybe in Waco, someplace where there's a lot of continual road construction, possibly Austin, driving, and you're noticing the work that they're doing, and you're like, you give them the elbow, and you're like, see that road? Hey, look at that road construction. See that? That's not very good. You should see the work we're doing.
I always tell them if they'd man their sites better, they get done faster.
Isn't that true? Don't you always see that? The signs, road construction, and then where are these people?
There's no one there.
There's no one doing it.
But yes, everyone has to slow down.
Around here, you talk about road construction almost as much as the weather. Let's
Yeah.
face
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yes.
it's always there.
It's always there.
By the way, I got my windshield replaced,
Did you?
and then within a week, I had a rock hit it. And
Not from Fort Hood.
no.
There we
I've
go.
never had any problems as involving my windshield on post.
There you go.
Your roads are fantastic. I love your roads. I gave them a very good Yelp review.
You know what? If you're getting your windshield cracked a lot by rocks, you might want to pull back away from the driver in front of you. It's
I'm
just a
not.
thought.
I'm not. This person was diagonal to me, right? Not even in my lane. Some Yahoo carrying a pile of dirt and rocks behind. It looked like on a little wagon. I mean, there
And
maybe
he didn't
an
have it
inch.
tarped.
Nope. And
Nope.
I saw the rock hit and just go boom right on my windshield.
You know, it's always amazing. You see that tiny little rock in slow motion
Oh,
coming
yeah.
at you to break
Oh,
your
yeah.
windshield.
I've never been able to see it. Like, well, my windshield's only been cracked once, but I've never like.
I lived your utopian life for a while, and then I came back to Fort Hood. And I mean, I had to
You
replace
have
my
a
whole
lot.
windshield.
You do have a lot of bad luck with your windshields.
I
I've
do. I
noticed
don't know
that.
why. It's because I finally got the car that I wanted.
That's what it is.
In life, I always had the car that was
Right.
available, and this time I got the one I wanted.
What do you
And-
have?
A car? Well, we don't like to mention brand names here,
Oh,
so I'll
okay.
say that it's a Yeep.
Oh, okay.
A Yeep.
A Yeep. Okay.
An orange Yeep.
An
An
orange,
orange
Yeep.
Yeep.
You can same color as in his hat.
Yeah.
It sounds like
I
you're
like
saying
it.
yeet.
It was funny because I saw it when I was in Japan. I was browsing cars and I found it available. And so I made an arrangement. They held it for me. I put the money down. They held it for me.
Nice.
And I was so psyched because I was like, an orange car. You never see an orange car. I'll have such a unique car. And I get here and like every other car's orange.
You know, the Yeep Club is not going to be proud of you calling a Yeep a car.
Well, it's vehicle. Okay? All you Yeep heads out there, it's a vehicle. We love what you do. We love your Yeeps. Yeah.
I didn't know. You're not supposed to call it a car?
No.
No, they're very proud of that.
Oh.
It's not a car.
What do you?
It's a Yeep.
It's a Yeep.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's the one and only.
Huh.
I don't even know what we're talking about at this point.
I don't like. It's a status thing or is it just a?
It's a Yeep thing.
Okay, so you have to be in it to get it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have a Yeep, you don't have a Yeep. But if you have a Yeep, you can be with the Yeep people.
I see.
Austin's got some Austin Yeep people.
Yeah, they
I
do.
did not know that.
Yeah, they stack their Yeeps.
Yes.
And they
The-
bring
The more you know.
Fort Hood kids presents every Christmas.
Oh,
With
They
their
do.
Yeeps.
that's so wholesome.
Yeah.
It is. All right, roads.
Wow, did we
Roads and bodies.
We're the Yeeps to drive on.
Yep. What else you got? Throw some more road stuff at us.
So we're over
We got
on
time to kill.
We got time. So we're over on Ratton Drive. We finished phase 1 for anyone that tours around the hospital area. Now we've just shut off phase 2 today, and we'll be done with that at the end of May.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
I would love to tell y'all when phase 3 is going, but we're going to hold it until COVID is over with, so we
Right.
don't detract from getting people to where they need to go.
Sure.
That's
Right.
fair.
Yeah, some days it is.
So while everybody's sheltering in place, has it had any impact at all with less traffic on post? Has it made your life easier?
My life is a breeze out there. It has been full go, and I'll tell you what, I can find every one of my guys. When COVID first came down, the only people I ever saw on the roads were my guys and the cops.
Right.
I could find anybody. But no, it's been a lot easier with less traffic flowing around
yeah,
us.
I'm
We've been
sure.
able to be a little bit more aggressive getting stuff done. During the middle of COVID, we actually shut down the intersection of TD and 72nd Street, which would be unheard of during any other time to
Sure.
be able to shut down that intersection because it's such a main thoroughfare for everybody. But we shut it down for over 24 hours and had no impacts.
Wow.
No
Yeah.
Well, no one complained to me. I didn't get a nice comment, but
I
I'm
didn't
going to get one
complain,
soon.
so
Yeah.
So we've been able to be very aggressive and try to get a lot of our work expedited during this time so that when everyone does come back to work, they're not going to feel as much pain as they would have had we not done some of the choices we made. Even at 72nd, we wouldn't have normally taken down 2 segments of the road, but trying to get ahead, we're about 4 weeks ahead with segment 2 because of taking it down at the same time as segment 1, basically. So we'll be impacting First Cav a lot less on 72nd Street there.
That's like less pain, more gain.
Oh, God. We weren't going to do that.
We didn't. That was something totally new and different.
Okay. All right.
So while it's been painful for everyone with COVID and being wherever they are, but for us, it's been a little bit more of an adventure outside.
Well, you seem to have all the answers here. It's amazing. So I pose you this question.
Okay.
When are the gyms going to open?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a different directorate than me.
I know. It's just...
But I look forward to that day, too.
I'm sure that's the main.
Post
Is that the one you get the most?
Anything we post on Facebook, there's always this contingent of people asking, when are the gyms going to open? Hey, look, this person adopted a dog and they're helping the community. That's great. When are the gyms going to open?
Oh my gosh. The world is your gym.
That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
You can exercise outside. You can run along these wonderful
Yes.
roads.
Just not
Admire
in the construction.
them.
Yeah, don't run through the construction.
Don't run
Yeah,
through the
don't
construction.
run through the. Yeah,
There's a
don't do
lot of
that.
stuff you can do in your house and outside that you don't need a gym.
Yeah.
And the morning air this time of year is just so crisp in the morning. It's
And the fact
wonderful.
less people have been driving, it's clearer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Have there been any other changes with COVID? Like, has it impacted other things other than the more open roadways or the clearer air?
Well, on my HVAC program, we're a lot more aggressive. We've taken down a whole lot of buildings' HVAC systems while everyone's been
Well, that's
gone
great.
from the
Oh, that's-
facilities,
yeah.
doing all the work at once. So we, less impact to people. So overall, all in construction, we've been able to be a lot more aggressive with our timelines, trying to get stuff done while people are out of the office, so that
Sure.
we can be done with this before they get back to work at full staff.
So it's
Silver lining.
kind of from your
Silver lining.
directorate's point of view, coronavirus, not such a bad thing.
Not so bad. A reduction in staff on Fort Hood has definitely made it a lot easier for us.
that's
much
interesting.
easier.
Well, very good.
But just to cover, one more thing.
Sure.
Upcoming, and we do not have the start date, so it will be pending, but it will come out.
Sure.
But just a heads up to everyone. We are going to be milling and overlaying 27th Street, which is right outside of Meadow School in the NEC headquarters. And we're going to be reconstructing part of 20th Street, which is right outside of Wainwright Heights.
All right.
So anyone that will be impacted by that area, you'll probably be getting something in from your housing is how we're going to try
I'm
to
sure
send out
we'll
that
hear about that
information.
one. I'm sure we'll hear about
People,
that.
yeah, they don't like me messing with them coming up from
They
the
don't
housing.
blame you. They blame Facebook.
Yeah.
I know. I like to read
That's-
the comments too. They get interesting.
Any minor inconveniences.
It's
is
your
like
fault.
a
I know.
major issue.
I know, and they think I have all the answers. I
Don't
have
you?
no answers. No,
No.
That's why we
No.
bring in people like Michelle.
Yeah.
She has all the answers.
except for the gyms.
Except for the gyms, I can't. But Mohawk Road is open.
All right, that's good.
That one's definitely
That's
open.
It only
good.
has been for like a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go
it's
run
a
on
great
Mohawk
road to go
Road.
down Mohawk Road.
Yeah,
It's a
what other
beautiful
roads
road.
are open? Can you give us a list?
I got a whole list of roads for y'all.
Fantastic.
No,
So
it's-
many options.
Yeah.
many options.
Michelle, thank you for coming in.
Anytime.
It is always a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And, we look forward to driving on all these new roads, too.
I do too. I think this has been a great year for us for road construction overall. And upcoming years, we're going to have some great projects coming. We've got East Range Road over there by Tedesco we're going to redo. If anyone's ever driven down that road, it's nothing but potholes. So that's going to come up in the upcoming year, as well as a traffic light at Clear Creek and Ironside Hell on Wheels.
Oh,
As everyone knows, you get
Oh.
stuck there during traffic.
Yes.
Right.
So those are some upcoming projects that are being developed, and hopefully they get awarded. And we will be doing great things this next coming year.
Show me the money, Uncle Sam.
that's
exciting.
right. Make it rain, Uncle Sam.
Make it rain. Michelle, thanks again.
Anytime.
All right.
Flermit the Sock here for the Thrift Paving Plan. If you need a cheap driveway,
It's Thrift Savings Plan.
the Thrift Savings Plan, it's non-stick. Thrift Savings Plan. Soldiers and DoD civilians, listen up. Flermit the Sock here for the Thrift Savings Plan. Are you socking away a little bit of money each month in your TSP? What? You're not? They call me crazy. The Thrift Savings Plan is a great way to make sure that you've got the supplemental income you need when you get old and wrinkly. Plus, the government can match up to 5% of your contribution. That's a free money. Make it rain, Uncle Sam. Make it rain. So look out for your future and sock some money away in the Thrift Savings Plan account. Visit www.tsp.gov for more information, so you too can retire like a king. Or in my case, a pair of corgis. It's a sock thing. No, you're not gonna die, dagnabbit. Now go wash your hands and settle down. Fort Hood's great big podcast.
Coming on strong on a Monday. I feel so low, won't be long till one day when you know. Coming on strong on a Tuesday. I can't see.
All right.
Okay, if you've made it this far, give yourself a cookie.
Yay.
Yay.
We appreciate you.
Hooray for us.
We did it.
We rock.
One more week down.
That's right. Is that how you live your life? One more week down.
Yes. My little calendar, I cross out the days.
Do you really? That's so fatalistic.
It's our short calendar.
I don't think of it like, oh, it's one less day alive. Like, it's just like, oh, this is over.
All right.
And now we're moving on.
It happens whether you make the X or not.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about it.
That's good.
I'm pretty content.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Dave thought we could make it through a show without singing. He was wrong.
That's exactly what I was
No,
thinking.
I sang in the beginning. I did the "It's gonna be May."
Yep.
Well, I didn't really consider that singing.
Oh yeah, I wasn't singing.
No.
It was just a riff.
All right.
I like when we end our podcast with singing.
Really?
Yeah.
What song should we sing ourselves out?
You can hear the cringe and you can like feel the cringe in Dave's voice as we're like going out. Because we did the closing time.
Well,
that was special.
Yeah, no, we did. That we did. As we've made it to the end of the show, there are a few things that I want to bring up that I probably should have brought up at the head of the show instead of talking about farts. But
priorities.
Yeah. So this is our 20th episode. We made it to 20.
Oh my goodness.
Even I don't know.
Next week we're legal.
Yeah,
right.
one more week and we can
Next
have a
week,
drink.
We'll all be boozing it on the microphone.
Oh man.
So
Break out the cigars.
Tell me about whatever you do. You're pretty. But no, this is our 20th. So kudos to us.
I'm excited. Yay.
And our numbers keep going up and up and up. I'm going to just say it, because I think we can. We're the Army's #1 podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's right. Are you surprised though?
No.
No. You rise to the top.
That's true. We're like cream. Could you have cream and chocolate milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That would be so
Whole
delicious.
milk.
It'd be really, it'd be
That's
really
how you make
sweet.
2% milk.
By what?
You extract the cream out of whole milk.
Oh, well, I knew that. But in chocolate milk?
What's the difference?
What's
If it's
not-
whole milk, it'll still split.
All right, so okay. Cream is white. It's rising to the top of milk. If you mix the chocolate into the milk with the cream in it, when the cream rises to the top, will it still be white or will it be chocolatey? It'll be chocolatey,
It'll be
right?
chocolatey. It'll be mixed in.
I am so easily distracted.
Was it
So
powdered or was it syrup?
I don't know. Are you a powdered or a syrup chocolate milk person?
I'm both, actually. I do
Really?
not discriminate. I
Whatever's
love
available.
chocolate milk.
Dave, powdered or?
Yeah, I grew up on powdered.
I grew up on you don't like
Yeah.
the name, so
Yeah.
the rabbit.
Has a bunny.
Yeah, rabbit milk.
Rabbit milk. Yeah, I would get that too.
As a kid, to me, strawberry rabbit milk was like the forbidden fruit. You didn't
Yes,
see it
it
that
was.
often,
Right?
But anytime you could get it, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
strawberry.
You knew it was a treat.
As a adult, I drink it. And I'm like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah. It used to be my favorite drink, chocolate milk, but now I drink it sparingly, but I
What-
still like it.
When you were in Japan, did you ever have banana milk?
I did.
Banana milk's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
They sell it here.
Talk about whole milk with cream in it.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
Very heavy.
Right.
Yeah, but so delicious.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good. Wow, we were all over the place there for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
That's how we roll.
that is.
Roll to the top.
All right. So
And we're down to now next week will be number 2 podcast.
what's the number 2?
Because of the farting.
Ew.
Number 2 fart.
Oh, we need to end this.
Hey,
We really do.
where's her timpani for number 2 and fart together? There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
welcome.
I appreciate you.
Hey, check this out.
Oh,
There you go.
Shut up. All right. So I think that does it for this week.
okay.
Another week, you can cross that off your calendar, Brianna. Do.
Yes. And now, 21 next.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I got nothing. Into middle age.
The music is playing. It's all good.
I know.
Closing.
Oh,
No.
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 Okay.
All right. All right, everybody. Let's just say goodbye and be done with it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
All right. Hey, and go back and listen to the Squirrel Boy podcast because we need people to do that. All right. See you later.